Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Gaming. And tonight, we've got more fun Xbox news. And fun is just the first letters of FU, right? So, Xbox is at it again. So, we're going to talk about an article where Xbox is raising console prices again for the second time in this calendar year. So, let me go ahead and get this article here pulled up so everybody can kind of follow along. There we go.
So, brought to you by Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, you could tell what I search for a lot, right?
That's the same one on mine too.
So here we go again. So if you remember, back in May of this year, May 1st, we had a console price increase from Xbox. Well, here we are with another one that's going to go into effect on October the 3rd. So by the time you see this, you may still have time to get one if you haven't got one and you want the old price. So that was announced on September the 19th that prices will increase on all the Xbox Series models. So kind of jump into what they got a little bit here. You know, I like the chart that they put down here, so we'll kind of go to that one. So basically, their argument is Xbox says price increase occurred due to changes in the macroeconomic environment, and adds that in the future, it will continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across screen, providing value for players. So I'll kind of point out a few things. So before May of this year, the 512 gigabyte Series S Series S was $299. So it went up from $299 to $379, and now it's going up to $399, $400. It used to be $300, it's now $400. So there's a $100 price increase on that. The 1 terabyte used to be $350, went up to $430, and now $450. I'm just going to stop saying the $449.99 garbage, because the 99 cents is garbage. It's $450, right? And then, you know, the Series X digital, which Nick and I were chatting about this earlier. I completely forgot they released the digital version of the Series X. Was $449, went up to $549, is now $599. What the shit's that? $150 price increase? Come on. And then the Series X at release was $499, went up to $599, and is $649 now. So another $150. And then I don't know who the hell's buying this 2 terabyte Galaxy, but that one was $599 when it initially came out, and then it went up to the $729, and now it's $800. So we went $200 on that bad boy right there. In the course of, well, we say June, July, August, September, October, 5 months, 4.5, 5 months. Like, come on, what kind of garbage is this, guys? And they're using this argument that, you know, all video game companies are releasing, and they're, you know, ongoing tariff fluctuations and uncertainties, you know, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I think this is more of a trend by Microsoft to get away from the console market. They don't want to make consoles anymore. They didn't even make their own handheld. You know, they just partnered with ROG to make theirs. So I think that this is just them going, you know, we can't really compete in this market, so we just want to make games. We want to sell game subscriptions. We want to sell components. I guess one of the only good things I did see in this one was I didn't see any component price increases, right? Because in the last one, we saw controllers go up, headsets go up, accessories go up. And I didn't see anything listed in accessories on this guy. So, you know, you can say what you want. To me, it's just a lot of excuses being used to increase prices of stuff. For Xbox, it's just, hey, we know we're not doing well in the console market, so let's give ourselves an out. That's how it feels to me, because who the hell is going to put a $200 price increase on a console and blame it on something arbitrarily stupid? Within 4 months, we need to change price increase in 4 months. We need to go from, you know, $729 to $799 from $499. So, who the hell do they think they are, right? Who do they think they're buffaloing, in my opinion? But, you know, and one of the funny things in here is that they're talking about Xbox confirmed to IGN they will remain the case with no $80 games this holiday. So they're not ready to fully commit to it. You know, they did say that they would introduce $80 games this holiday. They'll backtrack that after a bunch of game backlash. I mean, who do they think they are, Nintendo?
Put something out worth $80.
Right, exactly. Who do they think they are, Nintendo? You're not getting an $80 game out there. You're not Nintendo. So like I said, this article is just going into a lot of like, I caught speculation because Xbox is not going to tell you the exact reason why, because a lot of it's just internal, like whatever. They're going to blame it on tariffs and all this other stuff and whatever. I don't buy it. But that's just me. Nick, what do you think about this? This article really just had a lot of fluff in it. The meat and the potatoes of it is we're seeing a price increase on these 4 or 5 months after we already had a price increase from Microsoft. What do you think about that? That seems like unheard of, to just this much price increase within 5 months.
Right. I mean, it's unheard of. We've talked about this before, but it's unheard of in general because, we had the PlayStation go up in price as well. The PlayStation Pro, before we started talking about this, when we looked that up, and that one is $750, which does not include a disk drive. So if you wanted a disk drive as well, I think it's $50 for that add-on. So you're looking at $800 still, which is the same price as the Galaxy. Now, the Pro is a 2 terabytes, so they are the same. But the only thing that you get additional with the PlayStation Pro is Astrobot is pre-installed onto it. So you get a game out of it, I guess. As well as the limited Xbox Galaxy version is just the sparkly Xbox with 2 terabytes of hard drive space in it. Yeah, I don't know if it's Xbox trying to. I'm not sure on that front, but I mean, like it's so strange seeing console prices continue to go up as they get in age. We've talked about that before, where that's normally not the case. Usually they go down in price, not up in price. And I'm just afraid that we'll see. Microsoft's not going to make $80 games this holiday. They backtracked on that, but that doesn't mean that after the holiday that games won't start coming out at $80. And Sony said the same thing, but again, next year we might see $80 games. And then that always also worries me for the price of the PlayStation 6, what I've talked about before, as well as whatever new Xbox that Xbox is coming out with, right? And another thing, so it's going to be interesting to see what the price is for those consoles or what they're going to develop there. But another thing too is, we which we didn't talk about, but Costco has stopped carrying Xbox, everything. Like they don't have consoles, games, like nothing Xbox, which they say was a business decision on their end. I don't know if that's true or not. It could be that, or it could be that Xbox is just not selling as well. I'm not 100% sure. It'd be interesting to see if other brick and mortars follow that same path of not holding on to Xbox consoles or games and devices and stuff like that in the future. I don't know. That's just a weird choice for a big brick and mortar like Costco to stop doing. So it's an odd thing to see, but yeah, this price increase is also just odd.
Yeah. I mean, we got, Xbox has raised prices twice, right? Like in May of this year and then in October. But the October one is only hitting the US, right? The one that's coming up is only the US.
Right.
So,
you could see Game Pass price increase too.
Can't blame that on tariffs though.
No, you can't, but you can. We need to offset the price of the price increase.
Because what's funny is
increases in the price.
So what's funny is that Microsoft has raised prices twice in the US, whereas PlayStation has only raised prices in the US once, right? But PlayStation did have 2 price increases. They did like a price increase back in 2022 that didn't affect US, right? It was pretty much everywhere.
It was everywhere but
yeah. And then in August of this year, PlayStation price went up, but they only increased their prices by $50 across the board. Right. They didn't do this drastic BS that Microsoft is doing and blaming it on Microsoft. Microsoft's just this is why I believe wholeheartedly that Microsoft is just looking for an excuse to say, oh, our console market's garbage. We're getting out of it. We can't sell it. Of course you can't sell it when you're raising your bullshit console prices by $200 in less than a year. You know, you
Well,
have two
that
price
and like
increases, and
you're not offering anybody anything worth buying it for. That's that's another problem too. They don't have anything that, you know, you have as a consumer, you could say like, oh, do you want to go buy a PlayStation? Well, you have things that come to PlayStation that are only on it. It goes to Yotai and, eventually they come to PC, but it takes a few years, right? Like Death Stranding 2 is still on just PlayStation only. Same thing with Switch, right? If you want to play Mario Kart or Metroid or any of those games, you're going to have to get a Switch too. Whereas in Xbox's case, there's nothing like that, right? And so they don't have anything that's exclusive to their ecosystem. Not even just their console, but their ecosystem in general, right? And so
I mean,
it's like there's no point in buying one, because if you want to play all those games, I mean, besides having like maybe Game Pass, but beyond that, like if you want to play all those games, you might as well go buy a PlayStation or a Switch, because then you can play all those games that Xbox has, as well as whatever exclusives that console has, especially for PlayStation now, because now Xbox has started to slowly put Xbox specific games on PlayStation, right? Like Forza came out to it, and I think the new Gears of War remaster thing came out to it, and some other games as well. I think Sea of Thieves came out on it or something like that. But
right.
so
yeah, it's interesting though, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. Is that it's funny. We can do like a retrospective if you want to, but for the last 5 years, we have been on Xbox side, right? Xbox. We've owned Xbox. We love what they've done. We love their ecosystem. The last year, we've kind of turned tail a little bit. At least I have. And I mean, you have 100% because you sold yours. You got rid of your Xbox. So, I mean, Microsoft has done everything they can, in my opinion, to turn people away from their console, because I haven't turned my console on. I've actually contemplated trading it in or getting rid of it, because I'm like, I don't turn it on. Anything I want to play on Xbox, I have on PC. And then everything that they're giving away everything to Sony, because they're just wanting to become a publisher and a game developer. And I have my PlayStation only for exclusives. I mean, really, I haven't turned my PlayStation on in forever. I hope it still turns on when Yotai gets here. I probably need to go blow the dust out of it and be like, you going to turn on? Please turn on. I want to play Yotai, right? And so I haven't gotten to Switch 2 because nothing's appealed to me. But so Switch and Nintendo and Sony have exclusives, plain and simple. I really don't want to wait for Ghost of Yotai to come out on anything else. So that's why I will play. I'm looking forward to that one, right? So I won't wait for that one. Like, I'm waiting for Death Stranding 2 to come out on PC, because I know it eventually will come to PC and things like that. So, Ghost of Tsushima came out on PC eventually, right? I think it was like, 3 or 4 years down the road. I think it was 3 years down the road that came out on PC. So, I mean, I don't want to wait that long for Yotai. So Death Stranding, I think, took like 8 months or something before it came to PC. So I can wait a little while for that. It's not like it's a game I want to play, but it's not a game I have to play. Let's just say it that way. Yotai is for me. Especially because I'm pretty sure the group of us are going to want to play multiplayer together. So, yeah, and I feel like out of the group of us, when we initially got into all this, podcasting and stuff, that I was probably the bigger Xbox fan than I would say Nick and Shane was. I'd been subscribed to Game Pass almost since inception, and I canceled my subscription. Has it been a year? I don't know if it's been a year yet, but I'll have to go back and look at my purchase history. And I've just been so disenfranchised with them. But it sounds like Nick and Shane still have a little bit of hope for them. But then Nick turns around and he's like, I'm getting rid of my Xbox. So I'm like, well, you beat me to it. So
I lost all hope for them.
You lost all hope, right? And that's where I'm at. I mean, I hope that these game developers that they purchased survive all of this, because they bought up some damn good game developers. And unfortunately, their strategy is moving away from hardware, physical consoles, which means that Sony is going to corner the market because Nintendo is not a competitor for PlayStation. They're not in the same gaming sphere.
Right.
So that's my worry. And then what that means is that Sony wins. Sony can do whatever the hell they want with prices of their console.
Right.
That means that next year you will see 1,000. When the year that Microsoft doesn't show up with a console is the year that the PlayStation whatever edition explodes in cost.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I could say to then is that I probably won't be able to afford one, and I hope the majority. I hate to say this, but I hope the majority of gamers can't afford it. So Sony is like, "Oh shit, we fucked up," right? Yeah. And they're like, "Well, because then it's bad for gamers when that happens. When Sony screws up and they can't afford to keep moving forward because nobody buys their crap." But maybe we'll go back to the old way of consoles where everything goes on sale after a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, instead of everything going price hiking in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've pretty much given up on Microsoft as far as that goes. Like, I still have Game Pass on PC because they put some good games on there, and that I'll play occasionally and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and I'm so jaded with them that I wait till there's something I want to play, and then I go to CD Keys and buy a $6 a month the Xbox, the subscription plan and play the game I want to, and then don't resubscribe.
Yeah,
because it's not worth the $19-$20 that they're asking for it now.
PC Game Pass is $10 a month.
PC, I thought PC Ultimate was like.
No, there's Ultimate, which includes console and PC. That is $20. But if you just buy the PC only, that's $10 a month.
And that comes with day one releases? I thought that. Okay.
You can just only play it on your PC. You can't play it on console. That's the one I subscribe to. It's just that one.
Gotcha. So,
until they increase the price.
I say the price looks like they're increased. It's $12 a month.
Oh. Well, still though, cheaper.
Yeah. But I remember, I mean, so
it used to be $10 a month.
It used to be $10. Hell, it used to be you could get PC and Xbox for like $12, about $14, and now it's like ridiculously stupid expensive. So, like I said, I'm a little jaded with them, so I make sure that I get the cheapest PC Game Pass I can get off of CD Keys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's just me. I feel like that way. It's going to take a lot for Microsoft to regain my trust, but one of these days, I hope I'm wrong, but one of these days I'm going to say I told you so, and they bow out of the console market.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So.
I would have assumed that they weren't going to make another console. The only reason I think they will is because they've said that they have already, they came out a couple years ago and said this is going to be the most super computer console they've ever created.
It's going to be the Windows 12 PC. They're going to say, here's the Xbox, our Windows 12 PC.
Well, to see who they partnered with. We partnered with HP. We're making these.
They brought back the cow. They partnered with Gateway.
Gateway.
They partnered with Gateway.
Brought back
they
the
bring
cow.
Gateway from the dead. Yeah, they resurrected the cow. So,
since they own Blizzard now, it's the cow level.
Cow level. There is no cow level.
There is no cow level.
Just like there is no next Xbox.
No, there might not be. Who knows? We haven't heard about it since that initial,
right?
Whatever. So who knows?
That's what's going to be
changed.
Like PlayStation's going to sit there and they're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, wait for Microsoft to announce their console prices so we can compete." And they're like, Sony's getting down to the wire. So he's like, "When are they going to do it? When are they going to do it?" Then Sony's just going to have to come out the door swinging, with their console, and Xbox is like, "Yeah, we don't have one."
Microsoft, let them throw out the price first, and then
don't say you don't have one until they throw out their price, because if you don't, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we were looking at $7, we're looking at $1,000 now."
Right.
But you got anything else?
They'll just raise the price of the PlayStation 6 months out.
There'll be like a year later price increase, $9.99, $99,
$400 increase.
Yeah. We're gonna blame something arbitrary. It's an El Nino year or something.
Yeah.
So you know. Well, you got anything else on this
Nope.
price increase from Microsoft again?
No,
Yeah.
it just sucks. Like if if you're listening to this and you still want an Xbox, like get it before it increases in price.
You gotta
Otherwise,
use one
you're
at
gonna
this
have to pay
point.
more.
Everybody's dumping
Yeah.
theirs.
But hey, everything's an Xbox, so you already own one.
Yeah, you do. It could be sitting on your lap, you know, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, let us know down in the comments. What do you think about this second price increase in the U.S.? Oh, well, this price increase is U.S. only for Xbox. The second one this year for us from Xbox. What do you think about that? Probably most of us don't care, but we'd like to hear from you. And if you're not subscribed, why not? You've reached the end. Hit that bell and also get notified when we put out new videos. We put out new videos multiple times a week. We hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to catch you in the next one.